Welcome back to Kind Regards, the show. It's good to have you with us. I want to talk a little bit about feeling different. We've all been stuck in ruts, whether they're 3 week long or just an afternoon. I might be typing, trying to write some ideas out, and the ideas run out, and I go, oh, what to write? What should I write next? What comes after this? What comes after this? And I don't know. I don't know, and I'm stuck. And sometimes, it might not be a creative stuckness or rut. It might be an emotional one. We might not know how to feel different. We might want to feel different than how we're feeling. We've got a meeting coming up and we feel all depressed and sad or something, and we want to feel different. And, well, I guess one of the solutions here, the solution that I want to provide is that we need to go outside. Going outside is really, really powerful. There's something about, and sort of a parallel that I want to draw between going outside and getting outside your own head. Inside our heads is it's a weirdly controlled environment. It's like we only let in certain thoughts, and we're kind of insulated from the world when we're like stuck up here, thinking, trying to solve the problem with our mental state with thinking about our mental state. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, oh, I'm depressed, so I'll think about, oh, what do I need to think about? I need to think, in order to think ourselves out of this stuckness. But being inside a house is a similar thing. Like being inside a building is a similarly controlled environment. What we're trying to do is keep things static. Okay, outside it might be crazy and raining and windy, but inside it's still and dry and warm. Or outside is boiling hot. Well, inside is nice and good. Like we keep everything still the same so we can have this predictability and sameness. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not changing what's on the walls. I'm not doing it in this house because it's not my house, but I don't change what's on my walls every day. I don't change my bed sheet, and I'm not constantly revamping my bedroom to look a completely different way. No, what I want is the comfort and security of the sameness of my room. And outside is different than this. Outside is not as predictable. And to really be outside and not be in your head, to be outside and to pay attention to outside is to open up to life. It's like to be more available to what's actually going on. Most of being lost in thought is a shutness. It's a closed offness to life. It's thinking that in here is going to solve in here, as if the state that we're in is not going to perpetuate itself. I think of everything in patterns. That's a byproduct of having read Robert Pirsig a lot, the guy who wrote Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, and Lila, An Inquiry into Morals. They're his two books. And in the second one, he talks about patterns a lot, that everything can be thought of as patterns and that patterns like to perpetuate themselves. That is the nature of a pattern. It wants to exist over time. I'm a biological pattern, and I want to survive. I want to exist in the future. And I want my DNA to exist in the future so, I reproduce, And that, physical things are patterns too, patterns of atoms all holding together, and they want to stay together. They want to be stable over time. Social patterns are patterns. They want to stay stable over time. Handshake etiquette wants to stay the same rather than change, etc., etc., etc. Churches want to stay the same in the face of the changing social environment. They want to, conservatism is a real thing. And so the pattern of our thinking head, the pattern of our mental state, the pattern of depression or anxiety wants to perpetuate itself, and it has a little self-defense mechanism, just like an immune system, that fends off, if you're depressed, it fends off hopeful thoughts, and it goes, oh, hope, that's stupid. It's naive. You're a fool if you believe that things are going to get better. And it says, oh no, I'm a realist. I'm a realist and things are terrible and I'm sad, and that's wise to be sad. And anxiety has the same thing. If someone comes along and goes, hey, nothing's going to happen, everything's fine, you go, no, it's not. The anxiety says, no, it's not. Everything's terrible. You would say that. You're an idiot. You don't see the danger. I see the danger. The danger's real, and it perpetuates itself over time. And any kind of mental state does this. Any pattern that we're in wants to perpetuate itself. And closed offness is precisely, well, that's one of the tools that it uses, right? if you want to stay depressed, lock your bedroom door and don't go outside and only think the same things again and again, nothing will change, right? But if you want to change your mental state, if I want to change my mental state, going outside and being open to what is outside, being open to what is out in the world, is really good for that, you know? And I don't know about you guys, but I'll see something. I just looked out the window there and I saw a lady, she was bending over and she was patting her little sausage dog on the head, you know? That's a nice, I don't know if I sound like a simpleton right now, but that's a nice thing to see, you know? I went outside the other day and I looked up in the tree and there was this big, beautiful bird. It was huge. I don't know what it was. It might have been an eagle. But it was like as big as a lyrebird. It was massive. And I got to stand outside and be open to the world and see this bird doing what it does. You know, and I got to hear the trees and I got to smell, you know, the wind and feel the temperature of outside and feel the sun on me. And I got to be out there and be open and let myself be taken in by the world, you know, and let the world, I guess, like penetrate me, my consciousness, let it in, let it come and be a part of me and connect with outside, you know, which is a beautiful thing, because especially when inside is tormenting us, when inside is not ideal, when we're frustrated, when we're angry, when we're depressed, when we see no point, when we're unmotivated, when we're, you know, anxious, when we're feeling despair. All of these feelings include a kind of stuckness, a closed offness, and an inside our own headness. We're not connected to the world. We're not available to the rest of the world. We don't feel an availability. But I think it's a beautiful thing to be available. I think it's nice. I think that's how wisdom gets in. There's a million ways to do it. You know, calling someone, spending time with someone, you know, listening to a random song will probably do it, you know, really listening, really opening to the world. Even if you're inside, even if you're on your phone, really opening to the world can probably be done that way too. But I think going outside is a really, really sweet way to do it. Yeah, to submit to the changes of the world and connect to it, you know, remind yourself of your place in it. I think that's really sweet. Anyways, I won't babble on too long. The previous two videos were pretty long. But I hope this has been useful. I hope it's nice to watch these videos for you. It's certainly nice to be back. It's certainly nice to be thinking about these ideas and how to communicate them with people and trying to make this contribution to the audience. It's really nice. And I'm glad you guys are here on the journey. I appreciate it. And yeah, good luck out there. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your attention. I appreciate that. That's really sweet. I've got a Substack and a YouTube and Spotify link. On the Substack, I write articles that are about 2,000 words, about a 10, 15-minute read. And they're way more polished than this. They're about similar ideas, but I write them and really flesh them out. I get lots of quotes from literature and philosophy and psychology and all this kind of stuff. And I try and write like a big, substantial piece that is really much denser and includes a lot of sort of rigorous wisdom. I haven't written any in a long time, but there's heaps up there. There's like 40 or 50 or something. So yeah, if you like that kind of thing, please check it out. That's sick. Substack link is below. And then YouTube and Spotify, if you want to listen instead of watch or watch instead of listen, please do that. But yeah, I hope this finds you well. Bon voyage. Yeah, thanks for being with us. See ya.